Hello, everyone, and welcome to Art Talk Session 2. We are joined today by a very skilled artist, Michael Chang, who is kind enough to come on today and share some of his knowledge with us. So, Michael, a good place that we always start is what sort of sparked your interest in art, and kind of what led you to pursue a career as a professional artist.
Uh, I used to love comic a lot. Basically, it's manga, and then I was influenced by Dragon Ball. I really love Dragon Ball, and then after that, Slam Dunk. And I love the artwork from Slam Dunk a lot, and then really want to be a comic artist. So I went to Tokyo when I was like 19 years old or 20 years old. I forgot really. It's a long time ago. And after I went to Tokyo, I studied my Japanese. I, and then after I came able to communicate with Japanese, it's like it took about half years to 8 months. And then I just walk into the publisher. And then after that, the editor for the comic magazine, they really love my work, and they decide to ask me to stay in Japan like 2 more years to let me start a comic series. And that was really exciting news to me when I was really young. Yeah. And then, but unfortunately, being a comic artist in Japan is like if you are not a if you are a foreigner from overseas, you have to take a visa, right? But comic artist is a freelancer job. So the editor advised me to find another job, and he suggested me to be a character designer in game industry. And then so that's how I entered to the game industry. I went to a game studio called Tricrescendo, and Tricrescendo is mainly do stuff like for Tri-S. Tri-S is the game company who is doing game for Square Enix.
Like Star Ocean and stuff, right?
Yeah, something like that. But unfortunately, my visa is still not. They still didn't like approve my visa, and then I was really devastated, and I very disappointed. But at that time, I there's a friend of mine who knows DC Comic from America, from the United States, and then they reach me and they say if you can do comic for me, maybe it's okay for you to go back to Hong Kong, and then we can still work out together. So after about 2 years, I stayed in Tokyo, and I back to Hong Kong, and I start working for a comic series called Ninja Scroll, and that was published by Wildstorm at that time. It's like almost 10 years ago. And that's how I start my first comic. And then, the series is almost about 10 issues. It took a while, and after that, I worked for a lot of freelancers job, and then start get more connection from different industries, and then I someone reached me, and then we get how to say, we start up a studio called Mova Nova, a studio called Mova Nova, and I was one of the founder. And then we make a really impressive portfolio. After that, From Software reached me. From Software, which means the one who did Dark Soul, right? And they came to Hong Kong. But they sent the email to me, and then we meet up in Tokyo actually. And then we start up the first game I produced is like Ninja Blade. So it's like very 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 tricky stuff. It's like I always work with the title related to ninja. And then after Ninja Blade, we start work for Demon Souls, and then so on. And then so on Dark Soul and Dark Soul 2. Yeah. So this is the I don't know how to say it. I wanted to be a comic artist, but turned out I become a artist who work for the game industry, and then I think I'm very lucky to take part in the Dark Souls series, especially. Yeah, but Ninja Blade is a very it was a very exciting project too. But I don't know if you guys recognize it or not. It's for Xbox 360. Yeah,
Yeah. I've seen it around before actually.
yeah, we did a lot of concept art for the Ninja Blade, the monster concept, and a lot of it. But they didn't really make all of them out in the game. And then after that, actually we tried something with From Software, but we were stopped in the project was canceled or something like that. But these 10 years, we worked out for many projects, but not all of them will come out to the market actually. Yeah. So was it's really tough job for anyone, even the guys in front of software. The director is very like he insists something really have to match with his image. It's almost like a percent or 90% in his mind. If not, he will not allow you to pass it. So he requires a very high standard. So that's how my skill or the sense of art rise up.
Hmm.
So I really appreciate the director from software. Yeah, it was a really good experience, and I learned a lot from it.
Yeah, I knew that his stuff was like extremely particular. Like if you see his their new game that came out, the Bloodborne or whatever.
Yeah,
No, it's like I mean that in itself, like every one of his games has like a super stylistic approach. So I mean that yeah, I've heard that those are like I don't know the most like difficult jobs to tackle.
Bloodborne was fun really, but actually I was invited by From Software to be one of the members to do the pre-production, but I was too busy on doing some other projects, and he requires me to go to Tokyo for about half a year, and unfortunately I do not have the schedule to match with his time, so I didn't really take part in the Bloodborne series, but it was really a nice job. Yeah, it's really impressive, and I can see Dark Souls 3 they merged some of the elements from Bloodborne too. Yeah, they merged some the light elements from Bloodborne with Dark Souls 3, Dark Souls 2 or Dark Souls 1. Yeah, and I think Dark Souls 3 gonna be awesome as well. But at this stage, I left the series already, and then I'm kind of working on some other game project, but I cannot disclose too much about it. But it's gonna be quite different with what I done. Yeah, some art style is gonna be quite different. But you will able to see the beginning of next year. Yeah.
That'll be really cool to see. Like
Yeah.
it must have been like an interesting thing to kind of like step away from that kind of style and like do something completely different. Must have kind of been.
Actually, the industry is changing really quick, and even the market too, the audience market too, and so we have to change it as well. Especially in the Eastern market, they require different type of stuff. Actually, Dark Souls is not really a major type of game in the Eastern market.
Hmm.
And I stay in Hong Kong, and so we have to it's not like a compromise. It's like a fit into their culture or something like that. Yeah, but it came out something interesting as well. But I'm not really sure you guys can imagine it, how it's gonna be, but it's gonna be fun. Yeah, the style is like the style is basically created by me. Yeah, but it's rather different. It's not 100% realistic style like a Dark Soul. Yeah, so that's how much that's the thing I can disclose now.
Did you, before you got into the industry, did you go to art school? Like, did you go to art school? Or did you just study by yourself, or?
Actually, I did go to art school when I was in Taiwan. I born in Taiwan, and then my secondary school was an art school. But after I just went to there for like a half year, I moved to Hong Kong. And after that, I went to art school again. But the art school is basically not really relate to the professional, not professional, no, traditional arts. Is like a more related to design, graphic design stuff. So the traditional art stuff, basically I was learned from the half year time I was in Taiwan, and then everything from computer I learned by myself. Yeah, like Photoshop is something like that. But actually, I'm not really good at Photoshop. I just use it as a tool to paint.
That's kind of the way that I am. I like don't know what I'm doing at all with Photoshop most of the time. It's usually just like I get in, I try to paint, and that's it. Like everything, everybody else is doing all these shortcuts, and you're just like, what's going on?
Yeah. I have no idea. I have no clue. But actually, my other colleagues, they just work on one piece of our. They do a lot of layers. They open a lot of layers, but I usually just do in one layer, like how we do in real traditional arts. That's the way I paint, actually. But
So you keep the process like very traditional then?
yeah. I paint like a traditional way, yeah. But sometimes it's really different. Depends on the task. Like when you do concept art, it's very different with when you are illustrating. Like if you are doing a promotion image, everything has to be very fine, right? So it's like illustration. But if you are doing concept, actually, if you are doing concept for Dark Souls, maybe you have to use some photos or maybe some 3D modeling and some this kind of element to merge together. But actually, I don't really do that. I paint most of my characters. Yeah, I enjoy the process of painting. Yeah.
You want to tell us a little bit about like I mean, well, I guess your experience like working on Dark Souls. Like, did you know? Like, I mean, you said it wasn't a major title in the Eastern.
Actually, it's like to be honest, my like the people who know me or some of my friends mainly not really from the place I'm living in. Actually, the place I live in, like Hong Kong or Taiwan, their major markets, this the style for their major market is more like anime style.
Mm.
Like who got a huge eye, and then like a more Japanese anime style. Yeah. So people who know Dark Souls is like really hardcore gamers. But the percentage of hardcore gamers in my region is not really, it's not as high as the Western market.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, the
So
people over here love it. Like, I mean, I'm a huge fan of it myself.
but Dark Souls is again like if you love it, you're gonna love it. If you don't know how to appreciate from the images. Some of the like I can't see any girls playing Dark Souls.
I know a couple that have played it. Like I mean, they're a little extreme though. But I mean, that game is. Did you know that like when you were working on it? Did you know that it was like because when that game came out, I think like a wave kind of hit where it was like, I don't know, everyone was like, oh, this is like all the old games back in Nintendo where it's like really hard, and it's
really tough to beat.
yeah.
To be honest, the first time I work on not Dark Souls, Demon Soul. You know Demon Soul, right? Demon Soul is actually the first Dark Souls series.
Yeah, I played both.
Yeah. Demon Soul is like the first time I tried it, I really think it's really really hard, and I quit it like after I was beaten by the first enemy. And then, yeah, it is like an inside joke, and I don't really want to play it anymore. But after you like get involved more, like I did a lot of characters for Dark Souls series, so I would like to see the the enemies, the monster I designed in the game. So I tried to play it very hard. And after that, I really learned the joy of the game. Yeah, and then actually it's really really awesome. The game itself is really really free, and then you can just like challenge it, even though challenge any enemy, even though your level is very low or your level is very high. Yeah, so it's a really really good adventure. But I was the gamer like to play RPG games like Final Fantasy stuff. Yeah, the Dark Souls is totally different stuff from what I used to love. Like when I was a teenage, I really love Final Fantasy because everything is like the design from their costume is like a very very sharp or very very fancy, right? But Dark Souls is totally different stuff. The art direction is like we have to seek the past. We have to find something really original from the history, and the design of the structure, the armors, or everything we based on some really really realistic references, and we don't really like the design is not functional. I don't know. I don't know. You guys get why I tell you or not? It's like some of the costume designer really don't care about how it works. They just care about the silhouette or
They just
how.
want to look cool, basically.
Yeah. But
Gotcha.
Doctor is different. They really want it to be realistic. Yeah, like we can wear it, and this kind of armor does exist in our world or something like that. Yeah. So visually, for the people who love the JRPG game, maybe they won't be shocked by the first image. They will be like, "Oh, this is something really dark, but nothing fancy," and it will drive my attention to it. But after you really learn the story and then you just go to the adventure, just play the game, you will know everything is like well planned, and then the the director Miyazaki is really really pursuing what he wants to show. Yeah, so I learned a lot from this game, and then, of course my my sense of art is changed after Dark Souls 2. I really love to design something functional and not too fancy.
Yeah.
I don't know what you guys know what I mean, but
No, I think I get you. With your current stuff, like with the Cage of Challenger book that you're working on now, is that like a little bit more towards what you want?
yeah. The cage of trouble is like this is just same as what I told you. I just want something realistic in this novel. I don't want to show something like pretty costumes, like some I don't know how to
You kind
say
of
it, just like
break that in like the fantastical, basically, and do something
yeah,
like
yeah,
more.
yeah. Because I am the super fans of the mystery stuff. I love the works from the director David Fincher. Yeah, and his angle of taking photography is really, really awesome. They bring out really good atmosphere, a really good lighting. Yeah. But the people from Eastern market, like people from China, they really love something with high saturation. You guys can see that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Really high saturation and many stuff on the costumes. They love fancy stuff. But I love something like if you watch it closely, you can see a lot of things. But if you look it from far away, you can see a very solid image. But not when you see it from far away, you can see too many things and without any focus.
Yeah, it's just like not as busy as like I guess like when you think about anime where the costumes are so elaborate and they have like all the decorations and details and they love to exaggerate. I think like really like kind of
Yeah. You can see what people really want to present. But you know, there's a lot of card game now, like for mobile game, and they really require some very fancy costumes. And that direction is actually different from what I did, like a Dark Souls or something else. For people who likes those card games, they really want to see more image or not or more stuff in one picture. But but I'm different. Yeah.
kind of the less is more sometimes mentality.
I think that's actually a good lesson for like a lot of people is that like when they're working on like a comic book, you know, if you have like a really close up shot of a character, yeah, you can do all these details and stuff. But then when they're in like a battle scene and you're like looking at them from far away, then you can't see all those details. You have to just be able to make out the character based off of like a rough figure. You know what I mean?
Play with the optics for sure to kind of get that sense. I think.
Yeah.
That really depends on what you want to present. You want to present a good character, like some of the like movie directors or even game directors, they want to create a very impressive images, but some of them want to create a very good story. They want to present a good story. So it's like a good photographer who can make the model or the actor or actress look very beautiful, or a good director can actually make those actors can act more well. You know what I mean? It's like
They can better. Yeah.
yeah. It's like for example, like some movies they really got very stunning images or artwork, but the story is like or the acting skill was not really impressive. But what I am looking for is like the image or the characters who can present a very good story or very good atmosphere. Yeah, and that's how Dark Souls works too. Yeah, but I think it's not really the main audience in Eastern market gonna focus on. Yeah, nowadays.
Well, from what I understand, you have a demo that you're gonna do for us. You want to go ahead and cut to that?
Sure, but it's not gonna be a long time, so maybe I'm gonna do just a face or just a figure, something like that. Let me share the screen.
Okay.
Okay.
You want to talk a little bit about like I guess your what you're gonna go for here and what you're doing?
Actually, I have. I want to create like a monster or a creature.
Okay.
Awesome. So is this normally how you sort of start your process, just kind of blocking it in like this?
Normally, I have some like from the people who design the game, they're gonna give me a rough image of how they want. Sometimes depends on projects. For example, I used to work for Riot Game too. I create some concept for LOL, and their requirements really like they want everything start with something really simple. Like for example, big eyes. They give me just a word big eyes, and then I have to create a lot of different directions. Like how you can create a very cool character with big eyes or a very comedy image of a big eyes, different direction and different inspiration, and they want you inspire them. But also they got really specific requirements. They will get a lot of research for you, and then you just follow their orders because the director really wants our work looks exactly same with his image in his mind. Yeah. So that's really depends on the clients.
So are you mostly just using are you using like a hard round or a soft round brush or something here for your work? Or?
Usually I try a lot of different projects, but from the starting point, maybe just hard round brushes.
So like when you first started this, you said you wanted to do like a monster creature or something, like like so what are you thinking right now? Like what is the kind of go through your process a little bit about like what you're
Now it's like I want to create some character nearly like maybe little bit like Hellboy, but not that huge.
mm,
Yeah, but more like more muscular and more. Since today is like Halloween, right? So maybe some.
Yeah.
okay.
So at the beginning here, I kind of noticed you've got like sort of three like major values. Is that kind of like how you start, like simply with like a three tonal kind of system, and just kind of keep making it more and more elaborate as you go, or does it vary?
Yeah, actually, I don't really think I'm drawing or painting. I think I'm sculpting
Yeah.
or 3D model, making a 3D modeling, something more like this. And I
Yeah.
don't
That's all.
really,
Oh, sorry.
I, I don't really do like a grayscale.
Hmm. Yeah, I was gonna say it seems like you kind of like just started out with that like really high or that I don't know that really bright red, and then you use kind of black to kind of just help sculpt out your form.
Yeah, it's like sculpting
Yeah, that's
more
how
than
I like to think about it. Like with perspective and stuff, I equate it to like basically turning your mind into like a 3D rendering program. So you're always making your forms and stuff like very three dimensional.
yeah, and then because this is rare, right? So it looks like a ZBrush or something like that. Maybe I just make a simple form structure, and then I will build up more like maybe facial expressions, or maybe enlarge some parts of the face, like a nose, or the process is gonna be fun. Actually, because I didn't really think think yeah, yeah. So I whatever I want.
I think
Either
you're
way,
I think you're muting out like a little bit, like you're doing something that's kind of like causing your mic to mute like every now and then.
yeah. Creating art is really fun.
So like when you're sitting down and doing this, like do you even like I don't know because you've done it so much, like do you even have to really like think about a whole lot about like basic fundamental stuff, or have you just done it so much that you just can kind of do it?
I think I just done it too much.
Yeah. That's kind of the sense that I got was I was like, man, he's just like going through this.
It's more like a reflection now. Doesn't in my mind or just the instinct or something like that.
Almost like second nature now.
So maybe one is like that in this industry.
When you first started like working in Photoshop, like did you have a struggle with it? Like was it kind of difficult for you at first or?
When I first started Photoshop, it was like about over 10 years ago, and I didn't have enough money to buy a Wacom. I basically draw everything by mouse.
Oh my God.
That sounds rough.
And then I use airbrush, use Photoshop. Use the I don't really prefer to use airbrush.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like whenever you're using the soft round, it kind of like the airbrush or whatever, kind of like I don't know, things start getting kind of like muddled and whatnot. And I don't know.
You lose definition for sure. I think if you like, I think people use it like overuse it sometimes. Like then they lose like a lot of hard edges that are important. I think.
Yeah. The basic structure.
You still going for the Hellboy, or like is there more of a like is there something? Have you thought of like anything else while you're sitting there sketching? Or?
Most like then maybe it's like more like let me change it.
Do you usually like to plan your images beforehand, or do you just like to kind of sometimes go in and kind of let them naturally evolve?
Actually, when I was like working for ArtTalk show, before I start painting or start doing sketches, I use a lot of time to think about it.
Did you go through like any like initial processes when you were doing that, like doing thumbnail sketches and
Yeah. But now just we don't have much time to do that, so.
Just jump right in now.
Like oh we can't exactly don't have time for the part of the production process. You just have to produce.
They just throw you in the water now, sink or swim.
Do you have any like I mean obviously you really enjoy doing characters. Like do you have any like favorite thing that you really enjoy like painting?
Favorite thing? Maybe. Well, I enjoy drawing everything, but my strong type is maybe just like I think it's something dark.
Okay. Yeah, some people just like to do characters. Some people like doing just like anime stuff. I don't know. I mean, I noticed that you have like a pretty wide variety of things. And
They're pretty wild. Actually, I can do some environment stuff too, but I I don't really have time to do it now recently because my task I'm working as a art director in a game company, yeah, a Hong Kong company, and then I have to instruct a lot of stuff, and then I have to do a major promotion images Yeah. So no, not much time to is
Is he,
doing.
is he
Yeah.
cutting your ankle?
Yeah, yeah, it's like cutting in and out on that one.
Okay. So when you were studying lighting, like, was there anything like specific that like really helped you a lot with that? Like, did you do like a lot of still lifes, or did you just work from photos?
I don't really follow references, actually. I enjoy doing everything without like I don't know how to say because uh, when I do concept art, I have to search for a lot of references. But when I do something it's not related to job,
Hmm.
so I just my mind just like now, yeah. I don't really rely on references.
Yeah.
It's not for the photo to do anything.
Yeah.
Hmm. So aside from your upcoming novel, the Cage of Challenger stuff, and like
Mm.
like, is there any other like thing that you want to get into eventually? Like you said, you were a big fan of manga. Like, do you ever maybe plan on doing some stuff with that?
It's like this is a very tricky question because I really love manga, but I love movies more. I want to create something that eventually can be a movie.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then actually producing a very good high quality manga is really a tough job for me. Maybe because I enjoy doing so much details. So if I really want to do a manga, maybe it's gonna take years. So it's not a good idea to do it now.
Yeah. No, it is a very intimidating thing. Like one of the anime that I watch myself is a Death Note, and the style of that is like a very detailed style. So I was just kind of like, it must take a long time just to like establish that in itself, like in its line style, when you're not even doing like paintings and such. It's a lot of
Yeah.
work.
Actually, why I stopped doing comic because I really want to draw everything really delicate. But the most heated manga in the Eastern market is like One Piece. You know One Piece, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't really need a very delicate artwork, but they they got very good stories and very good characters.
Hmm.
It's a very good quality of images. Is not really. I don't know how to explain it. It's like a doing manga is not the right choice if you want to draw something really pretty.
Yeah.
A long you have to engage a lot of time, and then like a comic artist in Japan, they work like from morning 5 a.m. to midnight, something like that. They have to use like,
I've, I've,
19,
I've heard the
19
hours are ridiculous.
yeah 19 pages per week. So if you want the image looks very great, like every character looks so realistic or so detailed, it cannot last too long. You know what I mean? It's a long fight.
Yeah, definitely. Plus, you got to dedicate like a lot of your time to like that takes like I mean, not just like a year or two. It takes like I mean, I think the guy working on I think yeah, Naruto recently finished, and I know the guy that was working on that like it was like more than 10 years.
Yeah, and then it's really really a tough like a life. You know what I mean? They usually got 1 week holiday per year, 1 week only.
Gee.
Non-stop working hours, non-stop. So it's not as fancy as what you thought or people thought. Yeah. And if I want to draw something like a vagabond, you know what vagabond, right?
Yeah, Vagabond.
Yeah, something that is really really. It's what I want to do. But it's gonna kill me. Yeah, or kill the artist.
Did you ever like have any influence? Like I know you said you like Final Fantasy a lot. Did you have like any influence from that stuff, like like Tetsuya Nomura's work and such?
I used to be, but after I work for American industry, right? I start to like the Western style more.
Mm.
So Final Fantasy is not really influenced to my artwork. Not really.
Yeah, like I don't know. I'm very curious as to like you have like a different combination like than I see from most, where it's like your art looks like even the one we used from the banner for the event, like it kind of looks like has like anime, but it's like more real. Like I don't know, it's got more of a more realistic painting quality to it, you know. So that was is something that you just I don't know, you don't see often. You have like influence from both East and West like that.
Yeah. So it's really, really a mixture, maybe.
Yeah, definitely.
But I really, I love Western style more actually because it's more realistic for me. Yeah, like the game Go Out. Fallout 4 is coming soon, right? And this kind of game is definitely not the major type of the art style in my region. Yeah, the the concept, the design, everything about it. You can feel a lot of stories from the design.
Mm.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy is like no offense, it's like a if you see the images of the new Final Fantasy, the Final Fantasy 15,
Yeah.
there's a bunch of well make up young guys and
Yeah.
demo and go to the wild to kill dinosaurs. It doesn't make any sense at all.
I'm not too enthusiastic about the game either, honestly. I kind of wish they would go back to their roots.
So now Final Fantasy is like something that something from your childhood and you will try it, but maybe it won't be what I like, what I want. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually veer more towards the Kingdom Hearts side of things, like with that area, because like I don't know, I think they did like a really good thing combining like that kind of style with like more of a Disney feel.
Yeah. The Japanese game I love the most is mostly with like Dark Souls or do you know the how to say in English? Uh, I forgot the English name, but it's a huge giant like Colossus or something like that. Yeah, do you know what? Sony. The game is a very big giant walking around, and you have to climb.
Yeah, the last Guardian. That's the one, right?
Shadow of the Colossus. Shadow of the Colossus. That's it. I love that game.
Oh yeah, okay. I thought you were talking about the one that's coming out.
Yeah, type of the game I love the most.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite games of all time too. Like that was just such an amazing like experience, and like they didn't even need a lot of words, but like his actions, told the story. Like what you understood his like commitment to the female character based on what he was willing to do, like scaling those giants. Like I love
Yeah,
like narrative that can be expressed simply like that.
the main storyline is really simple, and you can see what the purpose is very easily. Yeah, everything is very clear, and the atmosphere is really awesome.
Yeah, it was amazing. Like I probably replayed that game like 10 times because I love it so much.
Me too, me too. So I'm looking forward to the Last Guardian. Yeah,
Yeah.
it took for too long to produce. Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully it's not another like 10 years.
I was very the new trailers from E3. Yeah, this year. Yeah. Hopefully gonna release next year.
Yeah, yeah, it looks promising. I mean, hopefully because they said that like another studio stepped in to like get the production on it, moving faster and such. So hopefully they,
And just likes to take their time. Like it kills me though because like they make so many of my favorite games. Like Ico was great, Gravity Rush was amazing. Like, but they just take so long. They're like Blizzard almost.
But the sad thing is like now the mobile game industry is getting really really strong,
Yeah,
and the revenue is really really high. It's even much higher than the revenue we're gonna get from console games.
yeah, I've heard a lot about that. That's why like why so many games take like just so long because like mobile games is like the main focus now, and then consoles are kind of like almost like a dying breed a little bit.
Yeah,
yeah. Triple titles are taking a hit.
we have to use much more time to produce a console game and a much higher quality. It's I mean skillful team, but the revenue is much lesser than the mobile game. Really, really, I had no idea. Yeah.
I think the last like actual RPG, like have you ever heard of this? It's called Ni no Kuni.
Oh, I heard it. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a Miyazaki, like the Miyazaki film guy. Like that was like the one of the only like real major like JRPG games like they came out with like in that entire generation, pretty much. Like it was kind of crazy.
Yeah. So do you guys love anime?
Yeah, yeah, I was a pretty
Particular, like I'm a fan of anime, but I'm very particular, like on the series. There's only a few that I really love.
Like?
Uh, Full Metal Alchemist is a big one for me. Like I love Full Metal. Trigun was good. Death Note, Cowboy Bebop. Those are like the big ones for me, I think.
yeah.
Well,
Those are a lot of the same.
this is really really cool. The story is incredible.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably my all-time favorite was the Full Metal. I do love Death Note a lot too, though. So it's a tough call for me. Like which of those two I liked more.
Yeah, those two are about equal. I also watched like Rurouni Kenshin. I grew up watching Dragon Ball Z, of course. Just simple. Almost everybody did. Um, I watched like I'm pretty particular as well, but like I give a lot of them a chance. Like I've tried some of Bleach, Naruto. Uh, I like a lot of them. I only like one of the major Miyazaki films, the Princess Mononoke movie.
Princess Mononoke is my favorite from Miyazaki. Yeah.
Me too. It's just brilliant. Like
Yeah, I think that's like his masterpiece for sure.
yeah, that was a really good one.
Yeah.
I've heard good things about Tokyo Ghoul. I've heard some interesting things about that.
Tokyo Ghoul is like you cannot compare it with Fight on Titan or even Full Metal Alchemist. It's not as deep as them. Yeah, but it's the image of main character looks really awesome, but the story is not that complicated.
Yeah, I think the character like even the one that you painted, like the fan art, like I actually really enjoy like his design. It's like it's kind of weird, but it's like it's cool because it's so different.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, I love the design, but I'm not a fan of the story.
I don't know. I have plenty of those like where I like I love the designs, but I hate like the actual product.
Yeah. Did you guys ever watch Berserk?
Yeah, I've seen Berserk.
Berserk actually a reference, a very big reference for creating Dark Souls. Actually,
Really?
we really follow a lot of things from Berserk.
Huh.
The armor, the concept for the armors is really, really awesome.
Yeah, I haven't watched it. Like I know of it, but like I've never actually like it was a friend of mine actually recommended it to me too, but I just haven't gotten around to it. But I might have to check it out now.
Yeah.
But the story is really, really dark. You're not going to be like it's not a joyful game. It's very, very. It's even darker than Fight on Titan, I believe.
Is that one any good? Like, I mean, did you ever try that one?
Fight on Titan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think the story is not bad. The manga itself is not. I think the presentation is really good, but the drawing skill is not that impressive. Yeah, but the anime is not bad.
Like I've been debating like checking it out. Like I just saw like the images and stuff from it, and I was like, I don't know if this looks cool or not. I'm not sure.
Yeah, like
But the movie sucks.
I heard the movie was that like just horrible. Like the acting was awful and stuff. They said there was a couple like the giants were well done, but like everything else was just like awful, and they like butchered all the characters and stuff.
Yeah, it was a disaster. It will ruin your. Yeah.
Yeah, I read an article on it, and they gave it down the road. They said like all the characters were changed and made like super like one dimensional and just awful.
Yeah, storyline as well. Is the characters in the movie is not likable. It's not you. It's not the type of character people gonna love. So creating this successful character is really really like difficult. I think.
yeah, the main thing that steered me away from Attack on Titan is like how the Titans look. Like they're just like basically muscle structures.
Yeah. And then not many of them is done by CG. Many of them is like real human, real actor, and put on some costumes, and it looks awesome.
Yeah. There was one that was one of the characters actually like stood out to me a little bit was the Mikasa Ackerman.
Oh, the actress actually looks really pretty, cute. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was talking about just like the character like in the anime itself. Like it was like it was actually interesting. Cole, you would have liked that too because like it's kind of rare when you see like a really strong female character like that.
But sadly, the main characters and the main characters are Ellen, and the other character called I forgot the name. His best friend, right? They got exactly same type of hairstyle.
Yeah.
And if you are not Eastern, the people from Eastern, right? You cannot recognize their faces. They looks like nearly the same. Yeah. Movie was not good.
Yeah, I wasn't too confident about it just from the trailer.
The trailer is not good, but But I actually a fan of the anime, so I just went for it.
Yeah. Do you have any favorites like that you personally like really enjoy aside from like some of the other ones you've already mentioned?
You mean anime?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Just like any favorite like anime.
What did you say?
Do you have like any favorite
Favorite anime?
story? Yeah.
Me. Recently, I don't really have. I love Full Metal Alchemist a lot. The story, the design is fine, yeah. And then, did you ever see anime or manga called Shigurui? It's a samurai manga. It's really really dark. It's even darker than Berserk, and that was really very impressive. It's talking about two samurais, and then they start a fight, and then they have engaged a long relationship from a long time ago. It's like they start a fight, and then they are both like handicapped. One of the samurai he doesn't have an arm, and one of them is blind. And then they flash back 7 years ago, and then both of them were fine, and there are some stories between two of them, and they become like from friends or uh, even very close friends, and now become like enemies, something like that. The story is really really interesting, and then the design is very very hardcore.
Yeah, I'll check that out.
Yeah, you guys have to check it out. It's really really impressive.
Yeah, I'll take that a look.
So I guess on the opposite end of the spectrum is do you have like any like you said you're really into Western stuff? Is there like any big IPs that you love from there?
I love Mad Max. Mad Max was awesome.
Yeah, that was my favorite movie of the year for sure. Mad Max was fantastic.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, wow, mind blowing.
Yeah, it really was. Like that was a movie was excellent.
Yeah, like that was one of the like it had been a while since like I had gone to the theater and just been like blown away like cuz like I was so excited from the trailers and it had been a long time since like I went to a movie I was really excited for and then like I walked out of it just like completely satisfied like, just blown away like that was exactly what I wanted.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I really enjoy everything for every artwork, like the concept from the movie is awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, set designs and everything they used were great.
Yeah, and they made all those vehicles too. Like every vehicle that was in the movie actually worked in real life. Like that's pretty awesome. Like they didn't CG any of the vehicles.
The only part of the movie that was CG actually was the sandstorm.
Yeah, the big storm.
Yeah. The rest of it was all practical effects. That was impressive.
Yeah, it was amazing how they did it.
And, like the image of Immortal Joe is really really standing out.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can't miss him, man. Like he's distinct.
Yeah, it's my. But I also enjoy very like drama stuff. Yeah, like Martin. Yeah, something like that is really cool for me. And American TV shows too, from HBO, like Game of Thrones.
Oh boy.
Yeah, Game of Thrones. Yeah, I love Game of Thrones.
My
Yeah,
That's a good show.
favorite show after Breaking Bad.
Breaking Bad. Yeah, it's I've had to watch that a couple times, like start to finish.
Yeah,
Breaking Bad.
actually, I think I've watched the show like 4 times, like from start to finish. Yeah, it's excellent.
Yeah,
I think it's actually kind of encouraging because, like, TV shows used to not be a very big thing. Like now they're pretty big. Like they really stepped up the notch with them, and Game of Thrones, of course, has been a big part of that too.
yes.
Yeah, they're starting to get the effects like on par.
Yeah.
Game of Thrones is like I even read the novel as well.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah, phenomenal.
But actually the show didn't really follow everything from the novel. Yeah. I'm not sure it's good or not.
It's kind of a mixed bag for me. Like, there's some things that I like that the show did better, and then there's some things in the book that I like better. So it's like hit and miss for me.
So I see that you added the purple, like you added purple to his hair. Was that just to kind of cool the image off a little bit?
Yeah, because it's not going to be entirely red. Yeah, and then this is like a little bit contrast for the colors, so make it more rich. But I don't really want to use too like too purple because the saturation is too high and then it will looks really odd.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love to draw muscles as well. Muscles is awesome.
Yeah, I actually like to do that a lot as well. It's just I don't know, something about like blocky forms, like the one guy, like I don't know if you know like who he is, but he's a Joe Madureira.
Yeah.
He did like the Darksiders.
Okay. This looks a bit like Darksiders.
Oh yeah, dude. I don't know. His stuff is a lot like that, where he like really overemphasizes the muscles and stuff, and it's really cool. Like I don't know, I love this stuff.
Yeah, yeah, agree. And the better phone is basically done now, but I'm gonna add some design elements onto it.
Yeah. So what are you gonna go for?
Well, I'm still thinking about it. Maybe add. Oh.
So has this all been on one layer so far?
What? One layer. I duplicate a layer, so there's a state. Because
Gotcha.
yeah, but basically it's one layer.
Is that kind of how you just like have like a main layer and then you just work on a layer above and merge down as you go?
Yeah. I think just the Hobbit only. Not this way is not 100% right, but did you guys see what or watch Crimson Peak yet?
I actually haven't seen it yet, but I really want to. I've heard a lot of good things.
Yeah, I'm going to see it next Friday, actually.
I'm a big fan of his work. Like Pan's Labyrinth was one of my favorite movies of all time, and the Hellboys were pretty solid as well. And the second Blade that he did, like the last fight scene, was phenomenal.
Pensilvania is my favorite from him. Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Definitely. Like that. That was just something special. Like it was. There's nothing else like it out there. Like it was just completely unique.
Did you guys see his show, The String?
I've seen the trailer for it where they got the guy on there and he's like, I want you to watch it unfold. I haven't watched it though. Is it pretty good?
First episode was really awesome. First episode. Yeah, the pilot is good, but the rest of them is like a little bit out of control. Yeah, but the artwork is not bad. I love the sculptor Simon Lee. We did a lot of for him. Yeah, the artwork is really good, but the story is like out of control. Yeah, the chaos. Yeah.
Yeah, he kind of had like I kind of thought a similar thing with the robot movie he did, like the Big Mech movie. Like there were some cool concepts, but like it was like he kind of let it get a little out of hand, I thought.
Do you guys watch movies from Hong Kong or like Japan or Korea?
I actually do watch a lot of like Eastern movies.
I've seen a few, like Azumi. Have you ever seen that?
Azumi?
Mm-hmm. It's like a Japanese. It's like about 10 samurai characters. One particular main character is like a chick.
So is it old or new?
I think it was like I don't know, I think it was like 2004. I think I don't know. I've also watched Battle Royal.
That was a riot.
I am a big fan of Korean movie. Really, really extreme. Korean movie is like do you know a movie called Old Boy?
Yeah, I do. Yep, that's a good one. Old
Really,
Boy.
Oh, Old Boy. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you probably at least seen the Western version they did of it, Travis.
yeah, I know the version. I watch it, but it's cannot compare with the.
Yeah, I actually prefer the original myself as well. Like, yeah, that was a heavy twist at the end.
How about Hong Kong stuff? Ever been to Hong Kong, you guys?
I actually have a friend that lived in Hong Kong for quite a while, and actually my brother works for Apple, and he's in New York right now, but he might be going to China in a year to live and work there for them. So, yeah.
Hong Kong is nice, but small. Yeah, everywhere is really really tiny. Like apartment and everything is even smaller than the apartment you can find in New York, New York City. Yeah.
Yeah, like the biggest area over there is it like it's like Shanghai or Beijing? I can't remember which one.
Yeah. Shanghai
Yeah,
and Beijing is
they're really expanding.
expanded really really quick. Yeah.
Did you like when you went to Tokyo? Like, did you like that pretty well? Like,
I love the environment a lot. I love the culture. I think part of the culture is very very nice. Yeah. But after I work with Japanese a lot, I can see some not a problem. It's like the something I not really enjoy. But their culture is really really how to say, it's like everyone is very polite, yeah, and then everything is very organized, but it's kind of over organized for me.
Guess it's
And
good if you're OCD.
it's over organized. The people is really polite, yeah, and then their culture of like artwork is really good. I love their bookstore. A lot of things you can get from there. Japan is gonna be like you're gonna spend almost like 18% or not 18%, it's like 70% of your life in for your job if you are in the game industry. Yeah, everyone is like work until very late. I remember the time I worked for Dark Souls. We exchange, we like we contact each others like from Hong Kong to Japan. Is like nobody we write emails. It's like 3 a.m. p.m. 3 a.m. and then everyone's still working. They are not dressing really fancy. Every time I meet with those producers, they looks really tired. They dedicate a lot of their life into the industry. I think it's very memorable.
It's pretty cool. Establish that like pretty quickly. It's already looking pretty. It reads really well.
Uh,
There's this. Are you just introducing like more colors now?
I am trying to do something different, like that. Maybe like just try different stuff. Anyway, this one is not for job, so I can do whatever I want.
Yeah.
That's the joy of.
That's one reason like we're trying to like particularly both Cole and I are trying to like work on personal projects more now. That way, I don't know, we don't get as stuck like in the industry jobs and stuff later.
I don't really get what you say. Can you say it again?
I was just saying that's like one of the main reasons we're working on like personal projects now, so that way we can like I don't know, we don't necessarily like have to be like hopefully if it goes well then we wouldn't necessarily have to be limited to just working like in the industry in itself. You could have a little more freedom.
Yeah. Actually, because when you work for projects, right, and then if you're not the director or you are not the owner of the company, you cannot do 100% what you want. Yeah, and then I still want to do something I really want to do, so I will try to use the limited sources to create something just belong to me. Yeah. So like a novel, or maybe in the future some other stuff like graphic novels.
Yeah, that's where my mind's at right now. Like I've started chipping away at like the world design for a graphic novel, and I guess you're a good ways into your first novel, aren't you? For the Cage of Challenger. Do you have any advice for me?
Yeah, maybe. But did you ever think about Kickstarters?
Yeah, I was actually thinking about like Kickstarter and Patreon as well. Yeah,
Patreon
like,
is like more, Patreon is more. It's not really. I have no idea. I don't know how to. It's like Kickstarter is much more like a more business stuff
yeah,
rather
yeah.
than Patreon for me. And then if I am you, I would try Kickstarter. I am trying to do different, like total different images. Maybe something like uh Immortal Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was like. That was like honestly the first thing I thought of. Like was the when you did the beak that was kind of coming down over the mouth, and then you got like the two little like the cylinders over to the side, kind of like for the hoses.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like a Immortan Joe mixed with like looks like almost like kind of like a samurai like demon dude.
I feel like it'd be like a boss you'd bump into on Diablo.
Yeah, yeah, I could definitely see that.
Yeah. That looks awesome though.
Yeah, I'm digging it.
Do you have like a? This was like actually an interesting question I thought of the other day. Do you have like a schedule like you do, like say before you work on client work? Like, is there like a certain routine that you do to kind of get yourself in the mode, like every day?
Actually, I have to go to work like now it's like every day 10 a.m. and I have to work till 7 p.m. And then after that, if I after that I will go home and then have a dinner. Then I will take the rest of time to do my own stuff, like till sometimes till very late, like 1 to 3 a.m. and sleep until like until 7 a.m. and wake up again. Every day is like that.
I guess when you go home, is it like time to work on your novel, basically, like get your personal stuff going?
Sometimes if it's necessary, I have to do my the project stuff like for a company. Yeah. If not, if I have extra time, I would do something like practice my artwork and then my novel stuff. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. But I never got enough time to. Sometimes I have to compromise. Like if I'm not working on the game my own right now, maybe the novel will publish in a short time. But now it's gonna be maybe gonna delay for half year. Yeah.
You still do a lot of studying, or is it mostly just purely through just working for clients and stuff?
I do a lot of study. So for example, like I will explore some of my weaknesses. For example, I am not really good. I was not really good at drawing science fiction stuff. I was, and I try to practice get more researches, and then draw more machine stuff.
Mhm.
And after that, I start to explore some other weakness. Like I never did something related to steampunk, and I will try to do something like that. So it's like playing games, like collecting trophy.
Yeah.
Different task and different, yeah, something like that. And it's very enjoyable. Yeah. For example, now the character I'm drawing right now, I'm not following any reference, but everything is from my mind, right? But it's basically inspired by something I saw from Mad Max. Yeah. So I
Just kind
spent
of
a lot,
pulling from visual
yeah,
library, basically.
yeah, I spent a lot of time to watch a lot of different kind of stuff. For example, if I want to do a novel, I have to read a lot of drama as well. Like actually, my favorite TV show is a TV show talking about lawyers, attorneys. It's called Suits. Do you guys know this show? Suits.
I've heard of it, but I haven't actually watched it. No.
It was a really awesome show. Yeah, I learned a lot of things from it. Nothing related to art, but it's related to life.
Yeah, to help you kind of study narrative, basically.
Yeah. For example, if when I did when I time I do Dark Souls, I did Dark Souls. Actually, we tried a lot of different directions too. Like how I just did, just make a basic form and try different ways to create a character. Like maybe build up a mask, or maybe build up a helmet, or maybe make one eye blind, something like that.
So you
So
kind of
there's a lot of room for experimentation.
Yeah, yeah.
it's kind of like, I've heard of this method before. I think it's called like chaos to control. It's where they take like abstraction and they try to generate something like unique from basically making a form out of just like a bunch of marks.
Yeah, but this is always happen in the process of pre-production. When everything is set, we have to follow some exact flow to create our work.
That's really awesome. I'm definitely liking the mask.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. Immortal Joe is even more more interesting. The makeup of his eyes is like I think I remember the eyes is more is it's like this,
Yeah.
and he's a fat. Fat is always
He's a fat guy. I love. He wears that little thing over his body that like has like a six-pack on it to make him look like buff, but he's really fat, dude.
often by plastic or glasses.
Yeah.
That's really, really awesome. There are a lot of Chinese artists. They are really, really skillful. Yeah, the painting skill is really like well trained. The use of colors or everything.
Yeah, I know. I don't know if he's Chinese or not, but who is it? Kim? Is it Kim Jong Ji? Is that it?
Kim Jong-ji, maybe it's Korean, right?
I don't know. He's like his work is pretty ridiculous. Like he doesn't even like do like light sketches. He'll like sit down with markers and like just make like these realistic drawings. It's nuts.
Yeah, it
Oh,
almost looks like a painting.
yeah. I know this guy is super famous.
Yeah, yeah. I was gonna say you probably know him. Like I might just not. I might be just getting his name wrong.
He's a guy with no hair, right?
Yeah, yeah. He's bald.
He's totally insane. Yeah, he doesn't really need any reference as well.
Yeah, and he's like, yeah, I know. And he's like, well, everyone's like, what's your secret weapon? And he's just like, I love to draw.
He's like always bring a sketchbook with him anytime, and then he will draw whatever there's a thing he want to draw. Yeah, so it's really crazy. I will try to link the mask from the head, see what it's gonna be like.
Actually, learning quite a bit just watching this process.
Yeah, it's awesome. I love to watch like people that can kind of just organically like let it evolve, and experiment.
Yeah. So like start to finish, like if you were gonna like completely do like a full body of this, like how long does a painting like this typically take you?
Well, depends. If it depends on me really. Just like every piece of work can be can work forever. But if you want to do for job, I will done it really quick. For example, like a few hours. Yeah. But I got a really bad habits. Like sometimes I will, even though the picture is like 90% done already, maybe I will restart doing it all over again. This happens a lot.
Yeah, that's really cool. Actually, it almost kind of like I can actually see like some influence where you took like a little bit of like you took like the Immortan Joe thing and then you took like part of the Tokyo Ghoul thing that you did, and it's like I feel like this is kind of like all intertwined a little bit.
Just for fun.
When you're doing like character illustration and stuff like this, what like canvas size would you recommend? This is something like I'm always kind of bouncing around with is like what kind of dimensions I should do. Do you have any recommendations?
This is a hard question for me. Let me think about it. I cannot really I just I am doing this. And
Is that like not something you worry about, or?
I I don't really worry about anything when I was drawing. Yeah, I just want to enjoy doing it. Like how can it be more interesting, and how can I learn from doing this stuff?
Gotcha.
Not really focusing on what's the problems. It's like how to make it better, or you know what I mean? Yeah.
Do you have like any like default that you just use like for like image size, or do you just kind of wing it?
Image size is like let me see. Something like that.
All right, cool. Yeah, that's pretty much how I do too, about 3,000, 4,000. Yeah, I was just always curious because like I get so many different answers on like like what like how like big your file sizes should be and stuff. So it's always something I think about.
Yeah, not really. And then until now, I still using the hard round hard round brush.
Do you use a lot of texture brushes, or do you just keep it pretty standard with like the basic brushes? Or
I do use a lot of texture brushes if it's necessary. For example, like you can see this part, I'm drawing the armor of his chest, right?
Mhm.
More metallic style. Maybe I have to add some texture on it. Let me show you later. Let me build up the basic structure first.
So when you add texture, do you typically use texture brushes, or do you ever use photos? Like, I guess I mean it probably varies, but do you have like a preferred?
I don't really use photos. I use texture brush more.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Like I always feel like odd whenever like like photo bad. Like it feels like I didn't do it. You know what I mean? So like I'm always like just using like trying to just use brushes only.
Yeah. Do you create your own brushes? I don't really do so.
I usually hunt them down. I've made like stencils, like some like I have a one character. She's like this sorceress character. Like I'm working on for my first IP, like my first graphic novel, and she's got this elaborate headpiece. So like I made like a sketch of it, and then made that as like a stamp, so that I could just like stamp it on the canvas and warp it to deal with her in perspective without having to like redraw it again and again. But yeah, mostly I just hunt down brushes.
Me too. I am too lazy to create my own brushes.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm the same way. Like if I need something, like I remember the other day I was doing a like just a portrait study, and I was trying to get like I wasn't good at getting skin texture, so like I just go on Google and I'm like, all right, look at skin brushes, and so like I found like brushes that can give you like the skin pore stuff. So that's how I do it. Like I just go and other people have done it, so I'll just take their brushes.
Actually, yeah, I'm the same. Yeah, me too. There's nothing to share about it. Yeah.
I'm honest about it. I'm just like I don't have time to make this crazy pixel pore brush, but this guy did it, so save me some time.
Yeah. Yeah. So everything at the beginning now looks like making some sense now, right?
Yeah, no, it's like really coming together. Like I like that you like completely started with just the raw like form of his body before even bothering with his clothing, so that you could build it up and actually make it sort of wrap around his form. Like it's very like I feel like it would function.
Yeah. As I told you guys, I really enjoy doing some design that really functional. Yeah. That's how I got from Dark Souls. Yeah. It's really a very good lesson.
Yeah, that's always like two key words I always think about whenever I'm painting is like form and function. Yeah, the two F's, I guess.
But that is how you like how Western company doing, I think. This kind of process. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, like I love the like the work that's like it's realistic, but it's like painterly. You know, like you can still see like you get a sense of like a little bit of medium in there, like
Yeah.
with the brush strokes. That's actually like the style I'm doing like my graphic novel like project in is like very like kind of painterly. That way, like I don't have to have like super refined sketches. Like we were talking about like the manga earlier, like how long it must take to like get that sharpness. But I prefer to play with like paint and optics and stuff, and like I think it looks better anyway. Like it ends up looking more realistic, I guess.
Actually, this is like I think it's the big why I enjoy painting or why I paint everything by not using photo or something else. I think it's basically a training for myself. If I use a lot of photo and it become a habit or a routine, I think my painting skill gonna stay like remain the same. But if I
Yeah,
try to do everything not rely on photo, I think my painting skill or even the painting speed. That's the reason I prefer paint more than using photo. But when sometimes you have no choice, like the deadline is like the schedule is really tight, and then someday they really request some photorealistic stuff. I have to do I have to use photo as well. Yeah.
yeah. And the whenever you're in like a studio environment, you're on the time crunch, I imagine, from time to time. So you kind of have to cut corners. But yeah, like I'm the same way as you though. Like in my personal work, like I don't use any photos. And I agree because like if you do that and you make it a part of your routine, they become
Yeah.
crutches, and you can't work without them, which is not good. Like you want to be able to be able to create a good piece, like even if you just have a pencil.
Yeah. Exactly. So personal piece I done I never use like 3D elements or photos. Yeah. But for
Yeah, yeah.
job sometimes I have no choice.
Yeah, it's what I've heard is like it's much different for client work, but like yeah, I prefer to keep it as traditional as possible as well. Like I don't know,
Yeah.
it just looks better. Like I don't know, I, something you lose something I think sometimes when you use a lot of like photo bashing and stuff. Like I don't know, it loses some of your like personality and your natural inclinations on the way you place brush strokes and stuff. Like you lose a little bit of that I think. Like for the people that do a lot of photo bashing and texture stuff like that.
Yeah. But photo matching and texture is actually a professional way actually. I can say is right to do that, but for me, it's not that fun. Only, yeah, it's definitely is the right way to do. Yeah, for this industry, we
Yeah,
cannot be
yeah,
wrong or not, but it's not too fun for me to do.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's very different, like a studio or client work. Like, you know, you have your deadlines and they need a lot of ideas really fast, you know, so for the production pipeline. So it's just different than, you know, if you're painting by yourself.
And because the revision is gonna be a lot, if everything you have to done by painting is really tough, and
Yeah.
then actually don't suggest us to do that as well. They suggest us to use photos and then show our concept as fast as we can, and they can give a better revisions. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, that's what I've pretty much like gathered from all the concept artists I've talked to. Is it's more like in the studio, it's more about generating ideas at an efficient pace than it is about like doing a lot of like finished illustration paintings.
yeah. So you can see these characters getting so much different with when I start, right?
No, it's been awesome to watch it evolve. Like, it's I love watching like like things that aren't like necessarily like planned. Like they're just on the spot. Like you're just trying to feel your way through it. So it's always fun to just kind of see what you kind of naturally can come up with in the moment.
Yeah. You can see the layers.
That's something I do a lot. Like I'll save some of my early layers, and then like when I've done a lot of rendering, I'll turn off like the really polished layer just to see like the stages of how it like developed. Like it's always fun for me.
Yeah. For me, actually, drawing is much more fun than playing games.
Yeah, like I used to play like a lot of video games, but now that like I've gotten into painting and I'm like to get really good, I've had to like do like 8 and 13 hour days regularly. Like I can't even remember the last time I played a game. Honestly, like it's been so many like months.
It's hard to balance your time, It's like how to manage your time well. For me, it's like I don't really have time to play game, but I will try to do that because it relates to my job.
Yeah, like I try to force myself to like watch movies and like every now and then step out just so that I'm seeing like what's happening right now. That way you get inspiration and stuff. But like for a
Yeah.
game, because of the time investment, like it has to be something like one of like something just huge that I can't miss. Like I think the next game I'm planning to play is Gravity Rush 2, like because I love that series. But like that and like Kingdom Hearts, but like it has to be like a really like something like I love or something that just looks out of this world for me to be willing to do the time investment because you just have to paint all day to get really good.
You have to know what can inspire you, maybe. Yeah. If you can see, like, I spend a lot of time to watch movies, and after I watch some very impressive movie, I will start to draw. So it's like a motivation.
Yeah. Yeah, movies are more manageable than games for me. So like and I always keep like a show or something as like background noise while I work. But like movies just a couple hours. You can get inspired and it's not a time crunch. But like a game, like I have to pick and choose games carefully because they usually take a couple days or at least to get through. Especially like the big like RPGs or like Fallout or something. Like those
Yeah,
are
yeah. For example, I just played Witcher 3 for like 2 hours and I quit. It's not because it is not fun, because you have to use a lot of time.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like honestly, like the games I've been playing like most lately, like I haven't played one in a while, but like for a while I was playing fighting games and platformers because like a level or a match in those is only like 3 minutes, so like I could go like play a couple levels or play a few
Yeah.
rounds and it wouldn't take too much time.
Yeah. Exactly. Me too. I will choose to play this kind of game instead some really time consuming game.
Yeah, and I always enjoy like the fighting games because usually they have like they always try to like do like have a really distinct art style, so like I can get ideas and it's not something that is going to require me to put like 40 hours in. Not it won't be like too it won't take away from my work time too much.
Yeah. It's like a struggle, right?
Yeah, finding that balance. Yeah, I've been off lately because like I haven't done anything but paint for like the last 3 months. Like I've done nothing but wake up and paint, and then I do that until I go to sleep. And like I've got it like all scheduled out. Like at first I start like in my sketchbook and I'm like doing sketches and I go through like books like Loomis and stuff, fundamental guys, and then the rest of the day I paint. Like I work on just portfolio pieces and then I work on like my IP stuff and like I end up like my sleeping schedule just gets ruined because like I just sit and like I lose track of time. I'm sure you probably know like how that is.
really understand it. I always lack of sleep.
Yeah. It's just like I'm to the point to where I'm just like, man, like I don't even want to sleep anymore, just because like I've got so much to do, you know. But then it's like eventually you get so fatigued and you're like, all right, I gotta sleep, I guess. But yeah, it's gotten bad for me, like. But I just love painting so much, like it's so like relaxing and just creating your own stuff is just so fun. Like it just becomes like an addiction, I think, to a degree.
Yeah, me too. I don't think I'm gonna finish this painting, but yeah, it already takes about 2 hours, right? Yeah, but
It looks amazing. Like
I think I hope you guys think it's helpful. Yeah.
oh, it was very helpful. Like yeah, it's phenomenal. Like thank you so much for coming on and talking with us and showing us your work and everything. Like really appreciate it.
It's okay. It's happy to share anyway. Yeah, and then it's enjoyable to do whatever you like. This is not something for work, right? So it's like firstly I want to do a Hellboy stuff, but after we talk about Immortal Joe and we start doing something like that, actually this is a very fun process, right?
Yeah. You just start, you get an idea while you're just talking about stuff, and you're like, you know what? Yeah, I'll take it in that direction now.
So it's fun. Drawing is really fun. Creating stuff is really fun.
Yeah, I love creating just stories in my own world. Like, that's where it's at for me is like narrative. Just like coming up with a good story and like a good message or a good idea that it's trying to convey through really good characters that you can kind of learn and grow with. Like that's where the heart of it. Like that's what drives me personally.
Yeah, me too. Actually, I think people like us got similar similar inspirations. Yeah. So
Yeah.
uh, so maybe I'm gonna stop here.
Yeah. We can wrap. But yeah, this has been phenomenal. Like, thank you so much, and yeah, and everybody, make sure to keep an eye out for the Cage of Challenger legacy
Yeah.
book. And yeah, thank you so much, Michael, for hanging out with us. And yeah, we'll see you guys next time.
It's